Allyson and Will from QuiltNCode, and Lanny is going to patch in Kesha. He'll let me know when she is in. I can't really. She's in. Hey, Kesha, how are you?
I'm here. Hi. I'm just putting you on my screen so I can see. Hi, everybody. I'm Kesha with Cutterpillar.
And
I'm so
Kesha's
happy to be
joining us
here.
this evening because we wanted to demonstrate the wonderful qualities that we have learned that the Cutterpillar does. In fact, we're going to even show Kesha one she hasn't seen yet.
That's right.
I'm
I'm excited.
We're hoping to see what Kesha has to share with us as well. So tonight's we're going to talk about, first of all, what Cutterpillar is. And Kesha is going to give us a little rundown of the company and what they are focusing on. And then Will and I are going to do a couple demonstrations. We'll let Kesha do a couple demonstrations. And we have a brand new product that we're going to show you. This is the first time I've opened it. So, and Kesha's not very versed with this one yet either. So we're going to learn it together. So
yes, it's supposed to be great. We're everyone's gonna love it. So we're gonna learn together, Allison. We're gonna learn together.
It's gonna be great.
Yes, we keep saying that.
So Kesha, can you tell us a little bit about Cutterpillar and how they got started and how long they've been in business and all that stuff?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Again, I'm Kesha Parker and I work for Cutterpillar. I have been selling the Cutterpillar products for about 6 years. The company itself has been around for about 12 years. We started in the paper crafting world with paper trimmers. Now, our paper trimmers are kind of like rotary blades and they're self-sharpening and they also had a light on them. So that's kind of how we came up with our LED light boards because we had the light from underneath. So you could actually see through your paper cut line. So about 6 years ago, they created the LED light boards. And they decided, because with the paper trimmer, you're actually cutting paper. So they decided to add this clear mat on top of the light board so you could actually cut on top of your light board. So then we decided, well, maybe quilters and sewers might be interested in this. So we took it to market and everybody loved it. So then we created accessories and bigger sizes and all the fun little things to go along with your light board. And I think that everybody who has gotten one has loved it, and they say it's basically a game changer as far as your crafting world goes.
Well, we have certainly felt that way. I mean, but the reason why we got into the Cutterpillar business was about 2 weeks before I met Kesha. I was watching a YouTube or something like that, and I was working on, I don't have it up here, but I was working on this dark quilt. And I was really struggling with being able to square my blocks. I have a sample around here somewhere. Here you are. And so I was really having a problem squaring these really, really dark blocks. And so I stopped by Kesha's booth because I was like, I don't even know what to, like, oh, those are really cool, and that type of thing. But on this YouTube, I saw someone cut on it. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. They cut on that light. And I'm telling you, it was a game changer on being able to, all of a sudden, I could see my seams to be able to line up my diagonal lines to be able to square up my blocks. And so with this particular quilt, man, it was a game changer. And now I use it all the time because I've discovered that I just need light from below, from above, from the side, from behind. I just need light.
From everywhere. Yes.
Everywhere. So
I know. No one has ever said they have too much light.
What was that?
I just said no one's ever said I have too much light in my craft room. There's too much light.
Exactly. So, and then the thing that's also wonderful is that the mats that the Cutterpillars come with are gridded. And so,
they are.
It's all right there for you. So you have your sewing machine and you don't need to have the light. I need to have the light, but you don't need to have the light.
You don't need to, but you probably want to have the light.
It's coming. If you don't need it now, it is coming.
Yes, you will. You will eventually want to have it. And what I've heard is once you have the light, you usually don't want to cut without it, just because it makes
you can't cut anything
such a difference
after that. So the Cutterpillar also has And Kesha, you can talk a little bit about it. How did
Yeah.
you all decide to come up with a cutting mat that doesn't have any lines?
So yeah, so I'll just kind of explain to everybody kind of what we've got right here. So we have these beautiful LED light boards. They've got adjustable light levels, and they come with a self-healing mat. And like Allyson said, the mat that comes with it actually has grids on it. So sometimes, of course, you need the grid so you can actually line things up, square it up, get more accuracy, because you have the grid on here that will match with any of your rulers, so that when you're measuring, you're going to be very, very accurate. So that's the grid or the mat that comes with it. It does have a texture on the back that will keep it in place so it doesn't move around when you're actually using a rotary blade. But the other mat that she's talking about is the gridless mat. So this mat, what we found is that like paper piecers love to have the gridless mat. Because when you're doing like your paper piecing, I've got a paper piecing app right here. So this is just a legit kit that I have yet to cut. Someday I will, but I love to demo with it. So what we were doing is telling people to put their pattern underneath. They were using the gridded mat, and the grid kind of got in the way when they're trying to figure out where they're going to cut their pieces. So what we did is we created a clear mat so that you can put your pattern right here on the board. You can use that clear mat, and then you can cut out your pieces right on top, and you are going to be able to see that pattern through. Hopefully you can see it on the camera, but you're going to be able to see that pattern through your fabric, and you're not going to cut up your pattern at all because that's protected underneath the mat. And then you don't have the grid getting in the way. You still have all your measurements around the edge, but you don't have the grid right there getting in the way. So that's how we came up with the clear mat.
So I also use it for my applique.
Yes, it's great for applique, because when you're tracing patterns, like I've got a little embroidery pattern, but I know that you trace your applique patterns. When you're tracing, you can do all that right here on the board. So you don't have to have the cutting mat on top when you're actually tracing out your patterns. Once you've traced your pattern and you want to cut it off, you definitely want to have the cutting mat on there. You don't want to cut directly on the board, because this is made out of a plexi acrylic. It's not glass, so it's not going to crack or anything, but you don't want to, you don't want to scratch it or anything. Yeah. So when you're cutting, you definitely want to have your mat on top. So these are great for like applique, paper piecing, the two we've kind of talked about, diamond art, sketching, tracing, pretty much anything. A lot of artists use them because when they're creating and they're drawing, like pencil art or anything like that, you can do that all right there on the light board. But these are flexible enough. They've got a little bit of play in them, so that when you're using your rotary blade to cut out your fabric, it will take the pressure of you pressing down with your rotary blade.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. Have you noticed how there's like a tiny bit of flex in it?
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that. Oh, that's so cool. I just learned that. Yay.
Yeah. Well, good. So the live was worth it.
Oh, it was totally worth it. I knew I would learn stuff. Every time I talk to you, I learn new stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I totally use it for my paper. Well, I totally use it for applique all the time.
Yeah.
She's very sensitive. And so when I'm using her, I usually have her turned the other way.
Yeah. I know. I always turn it around for demo purposes. I would have it right here, but I always turn it around when I'm actually using it, just for that very reason of leaning on it.
Because every time you lean on her, she's like, "Oh, I'll give you a new light setting."
I'm here.
I use her a lot for applique, and you are exactly right. Using it for paper piecing is another game changer. Because with my paper piecing, I recently did this paper piecing project, and with my paper piecing, I was right here the whole time. And this is when I'm going to lead into Kesha talking about the tempered glass mat, because I have the tempered glass mat right here, and it sits right here, and I do my ironing and placing.
Yes. So Allyson just told you the very best part of this mat. So this is our tempered piece of glass. This is an accessory you can use on the light board, or you can just use it on your table, because it will work just the same on a table. But I mean, for me, why wouldn't you want it with the light? Of course you want it with the light.
Light.
You always want light. So it's kind of a mixed media mat. So this kind of goes back to like our paper crafting too. people use this for like inking, stamping, painting, glitter, anything messy, because the thing about this is it's just glass. You could take it into the kitchen sink and clean it off. Even if you get something stuck on it, you can scrape it off. So I love that because it can just stay clean, and then I can get completely messy on it. But our quilters and sewers use it because it will take the heat of an iron. So you can place it right here on your light board. You can essentially put your pattern underneath and all your fabric right on top. And then you can use, I have the cutest little iron to show you, Allison. Then look at this little thing. Isn't she cute?
It is adorable.
So this is just for demo purposes. I don't even know if it works. I just got it off Amazon because I thought it'd just be really cute when I do demonstrations. But then you can actually press while it's on the light board. So if you've got like fusibles, when you get fusibles stuck on there, you can just scrape it right off. But you can fold your seams, like if you're doing your 1/4 inch seams or your 1/2 inch seams, you can press it right here while it's on the light board.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so the glass mat's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like, I took a class where we did some applique, and this would have come in super handy because what we did was we placed our piece of fabric down on the surface, and then we glued our pieces down, and the glue was coming underneath, outside the fabric. And I'm like, man, this would have been the perfect tool to take that class with. And, it would have been awesome.
Yeah,
so.
I think it would be like way better, just because when you're doing glue, like on your regular cutting mats, they're porous. So it's going to absorb the glue, and then your cutting mat's going to get all ruined. So having the glass mat is a great alternative. And then, if you have your light, you can just have all of your little mats together, and they happen to have a case. Look at that segue.
Right? You did good.
So this is the case that we made for our light boards, because we've got 2 light boards we're going to talk about today, but I'll show you how cool the case is. It's double padded all the way through. It's neon green, which I love, because if you've got like your rotary blade in there and you're trying to find it, look how bright that is. You can see exactly where that is. So this will fit where your board is and your cutting mat. And then you've got this front pocket. You can put your glass mat in this front pocket right here, or patterns, or your rulers, anything you want to take with you. This is where I always put my electrical cord so I can turn it on. And you can put your rotary blades in there as well, or your cell phone. You'll even hold your cell phone. It's got reinforced corners here on the bottom to protect your board. It's got the shoulder strap and the briefcase handle. And it's got this cute little tab. So if you have a lot of things and not very many hands to go to your quilting retreats or a class, you can just slide it on one of your rolly carts. So I know you guys have some of these available, and I'm sure you've got some kind of cool bundle you're going to tell them all about.
Yep, we do. And we discovered something just recently at the show, and that was, I'm all into the stripology as well. And I can't do a live if I'm not talking about the stripology in some form or fashion. Sure. And so one of the things that I discovered with the mat is that I really like the clear mat, because then when I'm using my stripology, because I can't
live without it.
Talk about that too. And so when I've got my stripology, I'm not fighting with other lines on the board.
Right.
And so for me, it makes squaring and things like that a lot easier. Yeah. But we noticed with the bag that last week when we were heading off to the show, I had forgotten to pack my big stripology. It would be the stripology squared, and it fit in the bag.
No way. That's
because
great.
My Cutterpillar is always my Cutterpillar, my stripology stuff are the things that I pack last. And it fit in the bag. And I was like, oh, just one more reason. I mean, like, it's meant to be your stripologies and your Cutterpillar all together in one happy, sweet home.
And it's all double padded. So it's going to protect the stripology. It's going to protect your board. It's going to protect your mats. It's going to protect everything. We carry these, like, when we travel, we'll put them in our suitcase with our light boards inside. And I know that it's going to survive. It's not going to get beat up, because everything else gets beat up, but these will not. These will be protected.
That's awesome. So the bag I actually have is older too. This is a much more modern bag than what we have. So I'm like, okay, one of these days I'm going to invest in the new one.
Yeah, I think you should, for sure.
So tell us the difference between the two light
Okay.
boards that we
Okay.
have.
So first of all, this is the green one. This is called our basic. This is called our basic because we started out with this, and this is our very, very first version of our light board. This one does have the 3 levels of light. It does come with a cutting mat, and you have to keep this one plugged in. The reason I say that is because our next model is called our premium model. This model is the same size as the basic. It's got the same 3 light levels, comes with the same cutting mat, but the cool thing about this one, you can unplug it and you don't have to be tethered to the wall. So this one's great to take to the retreats and classes, or on an airplane. You can do all your crafting right there on the airplane because you don't have to be plugged in.
Ah, yes.
Which I have done before.
Oh, good. I figured that's how you figured out how to do that.
But yeah, you get it.
You do a lot more airline travel than I do.
A little bit, just a little bit. But the cool thing is you get about 4 hours time. So you can keep it plugged in and you can use it, but then when you need to unplug it, you can just take it with you, move to another part of your house, or like I said, take it to a class, or sit with your feet up on the couch and do all your tracing or even your cutting. So that's the difference between these two. But they both will fit in the bag, and they both will, the clear mat will fit on both of them, and the glass mat will work on both of them as well.
And they both come with a gridded mat.
Yes, they do.
So you're getting a cutting mat, just purchasing the light box, you're getting that cutting mat. You can start cutting on your light board right away.
Yes. This is a great version. This version is one of my favorite just because I don't have to worry about always being plugged in to use it.
Right. And I have found that because we have them at the shows, and we've found that it's usually about 6 hours before I have to plug her back in.
I say 4 just to be safe, but I agree with you. It lasts a lot longer than we say. We just got to be safe, you know. Say it's 4 hours, and then you're pleasantly surprised that it's 6 hours.
There you go. Okay, so 4 hours safely.
Yes, 4 hours, no problem.
There you go. 4 hours, no problem. So yeah, and so at the shows it's kind of nice because, and I'm turning it on and off the whole time.
all the time. Yeah.
Because I'm showing it off. So you know, I'm playing with it the whole time I'm at the shows, and so that was kind of
good.
One other thing was that we sometimes when you're crafting, sometimes when you're doing your thing, you are going to need some way of keeping your project on there. And so they have developed these awesome magnets. And so they have magnet plates that are super, super thin that you can stick on the back.
Here they are.
Right there. And then you can put those magnets on there, and the magnets will just stay on there and hold whatever piece of paper. If you're doing a tracing or whatever, they hold that piece of paper in place for you.
Yes, I love the magnets.
I didn't realize just how strong they were until I actually pulled them out of the box. And it's really kind of cool how strong they are.
They really are.
I'm sure you have more on those, Kesha.
Yes, well, they're really cool because these little plates actually have adhesive on the back. So I tell people either you can adhere it down in the spots that you think you're going to use the most, or you can just move it around as you need, because maybe you have different sizes of projects you're doing. So like right now, I didn't stick them down, and they're staying in place. So when I'm doing my tracing, whether my project is as big as the board or it's just small, like this 8.5 by 11s piece, then I can move them and position them wherever I might need them. So we actually sell them in a pack of 6. So you actually get 6 spots that you can make it magnetic. So I know Allison's got these, they're available. And then you can get 2 magnets, because typically you only need 2 magnets. Some people like to buy more.
I think that more would get in my way.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think 2 is good to kind of keep them out of the way, but then they're still serving their purpose.
Right. And I have tried, they work on fabric as well.
They do. They're so strong. They'll go through all of the layers.
Right, to hold my fabric down as I'm gluing things down or that type of thing. It will hold through the fabric as well. So that's super nice, especially when you're laying something out and you need to, move it over to an ironing board, or it's really nice to have those there.
Well, you don't need to move it to the ironing board because you have your glass mat. You can just iron right there.
Right? Don't. I just need to, slide that right under. Awesome. Okay, cool. So the other thing that did we hit all the stuff on the light?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about what your package deals are for a minute? You can.
Yeah. Okay, Will, this is where you are. See, Will's just hanging out in the background here looking
He's
pretty.
being very patient.
He is being very patient. He does have something. Oh, wait. And then you need to do your demonstration.
See, I have been biting my tongue because I knew there was a joke about there being a Cutterpillar unplugged. It's just...
So Will does have a demonstration with the Cutterpillar. So before he does that, though, we're going to let him, because he's the money man, deal with the deals, because I've been running around so go for it.
So we have the Cutterpillar Premium and the Cutterpillar Glow, as well as the light that you two have not yet talked about,
right?
And the accessory pack that you have not quite yet.
We're getting there.
Those are all available for 25% off this weekend. From now until the end of the weekend.
Yep.
With the code cut QNC 25 CUT QNC 25
Great.
Perfect.
So all weekend. That's it.
That's great.
Through Sunday. That's it.
Through Sunday.
And then what are the deals? So what is the price of that then? Do you know?
I have not done the calculations. I just made up the coupon.
You just did one part. That's okay.
So
I mean, if this is 180, then
so I think we've been Lanny's gonna figure it out while we
Okay. I mean, I know the retail prices, but I don't know the retail price minus the 25.
Yes.
Right.
So Lanny's going to figure that out, and we will talk about. Oh no! Well, you're going to do your demo.
I'm going to do a demo.
Yes, I can't wait to see this.
I brought your stuff up. Yep.
Did you pull it out, or is it over there?
It's here.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know what you need.
I just need these and pins.
So Willard discovered while he was doing the Sasquatch quilt, and he was doing mitered borders here. Yeah, your squatchies are upside down. There we go. So he discovered a way of doing the mitered borders right here to make them perfect. And he struggled with one and then said, oh, if I could see it, I can do it. And so he's going to demonstrate that for all you guys that are watching. And I think we have the small camera too.
So I'll lean in here.
Yeah.
So anyone who's done mitered borders on a quilt, tell you what, we can pull out the 25 or the 45 cuts here. You try to do something along this lines by putting your pieces together, and on a standard cutting board you will struggle here.
Right. You're going to just totally do a demo.
Yeah. So here's
nothing, right?
If we have nothing, it's sensitive until you can't find the spot. So I'm trying to find where these lines line up perfectly, because I want it to be perfect. When you've got longitudinal lines like this, that, if they're off by a hair, if anybody can see that, if they're off by a hair, you can really notice. And 2 years ago, I created one with another very long and linear border that I wound up ripping 3 times on each corner trying to get them to the point where I was, okay, I'm happy with it. I'll do it. I'll take it. Do you have a
marking pen? What do you need?
Yeah, give me a friction pen, and do you have a ruler with a 45? Okay. So first thing I did, okay, I would have sewn this to my quilt, and I've come to a 1/4 inch from the end of the quilt, and I have gone ahead and marked where my 1/4 inch lands, and so my quilt would have been, the edge of my quilt would have started here. And I've laid it out so that these two borders are now on top of each other. So the quilt itself is tucked up under here. And then I go in and mark a 45-degree angle. And it's so much easier if I had a real ruler.
Well, you didn't tell me you needed a real ruler.
I needed a real ruler until I started doing. I wouldn't even do a full demonstration, but I did a full demonstration.
Right, you're good. Well, and you need to do it again, so you're going to need to get used to this.
So yeah, we're gonna put together a full demonstration as a video at some point here. All right, so I have now done my 45-degree angle, and on a standard cutting board, I am trying to figure out how to get these lines to line up. And so I would be, finagling and pinning. And then I realized if I had light coming through from below, I can line all of these up perfectly. Wow. And then I just sat back, and once I got it done, I put my pin through and pinned all the way down my line and sewed. And on the first try, it popped out like this.
Look at that.
So if you can see,
it's lined up. I love that.
Perfect.
So all the way down, and here's off by not even a 16th.
Yeah, but he's looking at that off.
Right. And if it was off by even a 16th, you can see it.
Right.
He's a point Nazi. We call him
really
a point Nazi.
I have very little control over anything in the quilt, so the points are where I absolutely.
That looks great.
Fixate.
Wow.
But I could not have done this without the light from below. So that's the feature that we have discovered.
Right.
That is a great feature.
Every day we're discovering new stuff that's pretty cool. So as soon as we get a video for that, Kesha, we're sending it to you.
Oh yeah, please do, because that's amazing. That's a great.
Share that out to everyone.
Yeah,
because it's worth it.
I know. I tell everybody it just is going to help with the accuracy and lining things up. But that's a perfect example of what we're talking about. How much easier it is when you see from underneath. Because I noticed when he didn't have the light on there were shadows, and it's kind of hard to see when you're getting those lines exactly together. So the light. Amazing. That's a great feature.
Well, we had even switched before I started doing this quilt. We had switched over to a dark cutting mat.
Oh, okay.
So there was nothing coming up from below.
No way.
And right. So I was struggling, and then it dawned on me, and all I needed was even the little one. I needed only 10 inches of space to be able to see the whole thing. So I wound up going and sneaking into Allison's stash,
grabbing her light board
because you wouldn't hear. So
this is a family thing. We sneak into each other's stash if the person's not there.
I think that's okay. Mm-hmm. I think that's okay.
So
that's great.
The other new tool from Cutterpillar is the Flex Light.
Yes, let's talk about that. So I even brought out a sewing machine. I even brought out a sewing machine to show you where it actually goes on the sewing machine. Aren't you proud of me?
I am.
This is the first I've brought my sewing machine out. So this is just special for you. So this is our cute little sewing machine light. What it has is this little cradle right here. And this is the piece that you're actually going to stick to your sewing machine. or really you could stick it wherever you really want to. So basically, the only piece that's going on your sewing machine is this little piece of Velcro. So people stick it on the front of their machine. Some people put it on the side of your machine, on the back, up underneath, wherever you want to put this. You just kind of figure out what's most comfortable for you. You slide the little, the little light inside. It's got a nice adjustable neck, and it's got 3 levels of light. Look how much brighter my machine is with that light on there. It's like, wow. And then I can move the light wherever I need just a little bit more. If I need it on the left or the right, I can move it around wherever I need to see some light. So this is originally how our flex light was. You could just use it on your machine, or you could stick the little cradle up on a wall or your headboard or wherever you wanted. But just this year, we came out with our new accessory pack. So this is what me and Allyson are going to try to figure out together. Just kidding. I've played with it a few times. I know what it is. Okay, so first of all,
and I've seen it in action, but I haven't played with it yet.
So this is the cute little accessory pack. You get all of these little pieces. You can buy it either with a light, or if you already own a light, we do sell it just the accessory pack by itself. First of all, the base, you get a little cord, so you can keep the base plugged in all the time. So when you're charging your light, you can just set it right in there. While it's in the base, you can actually use it. Say you're doing a little bit of handwork right here, you can just turn it on, and then my hands are all lit up right here. So that's the first nice feature. The next one we've got is we have a little clip. So you can put your little light. It really sticks in there when it's charging. You can put your little light in this little cradle, and now you've got a little clip. So you can clip it, if you wanted to, you could clip it to your cutting mat, and then you've got the extra light, or you can clip it to like a book. I've got a book here. I didn't bring it with me. Like if you wanted to clip it to a book, you could do that like when you're reading, so you can have a little bit of light there. You can pretty much clip it wherever you need to have a little bit of extra light. So that's one of the accessories. And they fit in tight. As you can see, it takes me a little bit to get them out. So we'll put that one back. The next one that we want to talk about is this little cradle. This cradle's got magnets on it. So you've got this little piece. This will come with it. This kind of gives you a stationary position, and it's got a little surface on the back. It's kind of soft, so it'll sit on your table. So you can slide it in there. Again, you've just gotten more of a sturdy base to have light wherever you're going to need a little extra light. This also will work as a lanyard. So this is the part I'm getting used to. I'm learning.
Right.
So bear with me. Everybody have a little patience, please.
Yeah, when I opened it up, I was like, okay, now I saw it in action, but I have no idea where these all go.
And the first time I put it on, I put my head through like the adjustable strap, so I had it all wonky. So now I've learned.
Okay.
I know what to do. I'm going to get my hair out of the way. So you're going to put your lanyard over your neck. Again, if you've got a lot of hair, Will, you might need to do this. Pull your hair out. I feel like we're family now. We can just make jokes, right?
Exactly.
The little clips on the end will attach to the little cradle. So you want to attach those. And then you can slide your light in here. So you can just have it hanging down like this. But see, it's kind of loose. So what we did is we gave you another strap right here that you can attach to this little piece right here. There's a little metal piece. It's going to take some practice, Allyson.
I'm just going to figure it out, and then he's going to teach it to me. Go ahead.
Then you take your little flat piece that we use just as a stationary position. You're going to hook it into here, and there's metal on here. So I like to put it, like you could put it up in your shirt, and then it's going to stay in place. Now it's not going to move around. And then I can have all the light right there doing all my handwork.
Wait a minute. No, I still haven't done it right.
You can get it, Allyson. I'll get
it. Oh, here it is.
The last piece we have is this little magnifying glass. So again, all these pieces stay on this little cute stand. So you can keep them all together nice and organized. But the little magnifying glass will slide on the tip of the light, And now when I'm doing my needlework, not only do I have the light, but now I have a magnifier so I can see so much better. So if you're doing cross stitch or embroidery or any kind of handwork, I feel like you're having some troubles over there, Allyson.
I think I'm getting
Okay.
it. So, I mean, this is just, it's okay to be a little silly
It
with
is.
it when you first
It
get
is,
it.
because it's
You
a
know,
little bit
like,
strange
you'll just have to come
to
back.
figure out how to
You'll just
work
have to
it.
come back and watch the video again so that Kesha can show you how to do it all over
Yes.
again.
She
And
says that now, but she was mad at me half an hour ago when I was being silly with it.
okay, he had it around his head.
Oh.
And
Well, I
yeah,
guess if you did
right?
it tight
Okay,
enough, I
so,
guess you could put it on your head and then it could be a headlamp. I don't know.
right, that's what he was doing. So, you know, there's all sorts of things. No, I see this as awesome because if I can get this to be where I want
Yes.
it, I'm going to be able to do my hand stitching at the shows.
Yeah. And then everyone's going to say, "What's that? What's that?" That's what they do. They're like, "What do you have?" Because that looks like it would be so much easier for me to use when I'm doing my handwork.
Right? I mean, at the shows, sometimes those booths are really dark.
They are. They are.
And I can't see to do my needle. I can't, it's like, I can't bring my hand stitching
No.
in. So,
But yeah, this is pretty great.
Will needs one for machine repair. We're working on that.
One for his hair?
Because it's got the light and the magnifier. I'll put it up close. Oops, I'm attached. I'll put it up close so that you can see how it's got the magnifying glass. I'll even put this under here so that you can see how, isn't that awesome?
Yeah. Because even if you're just holding it in your hand, you know, like my dad always steals my mom's and goes and uses it out in the car so he can see, like he can shine it down in there into the engine. But now that he's getting a little bit older, I think the magnifier glass will help a little bit more. So you can actually see really, really close up.
I mean, I need the magnifying glass to be like that big.
Well, yeah, of course.
I don't think I can carry that around.
No, probably not. That might get a little cumbersome.
Right?
But yeah, I love it because I can just charge it right there and I can still use it while it's being charged. But then I've got it on my sewing machine so I can take it off and go use it on my sewing machine.
So now I have it for everything.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
I have only been waiting for this for like how long?
We first announced it. Well, some of us first announced it like back in the fall of last year, but we finally got him like a month ago. So yay.
Right. I know. I think it was one of the very first things we talked about. And I was like, okay, I have to have that. So I've been waiting now for months. So
they're pretty great.
Just because I have to have it. There we go. Cool.
So now you guys have these on your website, right? The accessory pack and then the one that comes with the light.
Everything is on the website and they're all at 25% off if you use the coupon of cut QNC 25.
Correct.
Beautiful.
For the weekend only.
Yay.
So you're getting that deal the weekend only.
19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
Beautiful.
There you go.
And I know that the price you have, it's a limited quantity, right? You only have a few of these boards available for everybody?
We only have a few premiums and a few basics in stock too. So
you want to get them now. You want to get them now. It's a great price.
Yep. Get them now while we have that price because, you know, you never know
what the future holds.
Tomorrow is going to hold. Yep. So that's 25% off. Laney, did you do any math? Laney's like, you're making me do math?
Was it 184 or thereabouts? At 25% off, you're at 138.
So 138 for the basic, right? Give or take-ish.
In that vicinity.
In that vicinity. And then the premium?
How much is it?
It's $230. Retail's $230.
$230.
Dun, 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 dun.
173. Guys, those are better prices.
Yeah, they're pretty.
I told you they're better than a shows.
Yeah, they're really good prices, you guys.
That's really, really good prices.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, like.
So anybody who's been to one of our shows and didn't should now.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. This is when you should get them now. Yeah, go to their website. Take a look at them. They're pretty amazing. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about, Allyson?
Anything else?
Anything else?
I can't think of anything, although since it's been mentioned, Bonnie liked the quilt. We will be getting more of the Bigfoot fabric in stock, but it won't be here till August.
Right. So in August, we'll have like a whole nother set of 12.
Yeah, we're going for a whole full dozen kits.
Great.
Yeah.
Because we sold out of the 5 kits we had
In 30
within
minutes.
Wow.
Well, we had 30 minutes of no sales, and then once the sales started, by 11 o'clock they were gone.
Yeah.
And the rest of the panels were gone by noon. So
pretty cool. So it's pretty
That's
awesome.
great.
So no, thank you, Kesha, so much for showing us well, especially I might need to go back myself and watch a couple of times on how you put this thing on again. But I think I finally got it.
Well, and you could call me later, Allyson, and we can figure it out again together. We can walk through it together.
Exactly. And then I'll do it again, I promise, for you guys, because we just got a brand new book in that's called Hand Stitching a Day or every day or something like that. And it's really, really cute. And I was thinking that I would show you how I'm going to use this with that, and see Will is going to just take it away and he's going to show me up as usual.
Yeah, he's just going to do it. No problem, isn't he?
Right? Look at him. He's going to show me up as usual, but that's okay because he goes to the shows with us, so he'll be done.
He's like, ladies, this is not that complicated. Really, it's not that complicated.
Thanks, guys. Okay, but you got to turn it. Oh no, you're right.
What about the clippy piece?
So you can either put it through the top of your shirt or through the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to play with. New toys are always fun to play with.
Yeah. So we're going to continue playing with it, and you guys are going to get one for yourselves so that you can play along with us.
Definitely.
And don't forget, it is Cut QNC 25, and you'll get your 25% off this weekend only.
That's great.
See, this is what he was doing. This is what I deal with.
It looks great though.
And so I think we'll stop there while Will is getting sillier and sillier, and we will do this again with you,
yeah,
Kesha,
for
with
sure.
Other Cutterpillar products, because we're starting to carry them all. And happy Juneteenth, everybody. And
happy Juneteenth.
Kesha at Cutterpillar, do you have any specific hashtags or anything like that, Kesha?
Just we have a YouTube, Cutterpillar, and we have Facebook, and we're on Instagram. We're putting videos out everywhere. We've got, we always have fun stuff going on, but we're always trying to come up with new products and try to keep you guys interested and just keep loving our light boards.
Right. Yeah. Well, and you guys are showing all sorts of ideas too, so it's kind of cool. So
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Let's go.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for letting me come on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.